we are discussing the money situation on Sister Wives. This comment came up, which is that it makes me sad that Janelle and Christine's kids, in fact, all of the OG kids, the original 13 kids, will not see anything from their father's estate. And I do think that's the case. And I think when he was talking about, I think it was last season, they were talking about the property and something about inheritance. I don't remember how it came up, but I think it was very clear that he was going to say that he had cut off those kids already, and Robin kind of shushed him. I'll try to remember exactly the situation around that, but I think it's pretty clear that he's already cut off those who don't respect him. And I think, and the truth is that no matter how mad he is at a few of them, he seems to be mad at all of them. He seems to be mad at Truly. He seems like he's really got an issue with Savannah, with Aspen, with all of them who, as far as I can tell on screen, have not said a word about their father or done anything off screen either. He just seems to have sort of a like, I'm done with all of you. But anyway, but my point I was going to make is that I do, this is really sad, but I think it's also very likely that his estate is not going to have anything. And what I mean is, if you're like me and you've watched enough reality TV, you already see the signs, and they're not even subtle signs, the very, very loud, obvious signs that this man is blowing through money. Robin and Cody are blowing through money like crazy. It seems to be very common that people, at one point, they were making a lot of money. We don't know how much. Every article that I have found that talks about the number they made is really based on guesses. The budget is this, and usually talent is paid this much. But we don't know. We don't have a clue. What I have heard is that they used to make something like $800,000 each, and then at some point Cody took a cut, and now they make $800,000 combined, which is a ton of money, but you divide it between 5 adults, and it becomes a much smaller number. Still a big number, mind you, but it is not the number of never ever work, buy every piece of jewelry you see, travel all the time. I do not believe that the gun business is making him that much money. And I put guns in parentheses because based on every single picture I've ever seen of him at a gun show, he is not selling firearms. And this isn't a moral judgment. This is just a fact of like, he seems to be selling low priced, imported, like scopes and accessories and stuff. And that's sort of like, that's like saying you're selling knockoff Chanel bags. Like, you're not getting rich off of this. You're not selling. So I am not saying, I don't have proof, but I'm guessing that the gun show stuff is sort of a hobby. It's basically breaking even. I think he likes being a gun show guy. I think he likes hanging out with those guys. It's definitely, there is an aspect of the manosphere in that community. So I think he's among like-minded people who hate those dang women and stuff like that. Not to say everyone is like that. Be really super clear. I don't want anyone in the comments being like, how dare you imply that my husband's a gun guy and he's not like that. Fine. But if you're honest with yourself, you know that those people absolutely exist in that community. But we are seeing someone who is very much living a Teresa Giudice sort of lifestyle right now, where it will not surprise me if they eventually get in trouble with the IRS, I just think Cody's grasp of the law is very loosey-goosey. And it may end up being that the fact that Christine and Janelle and Meri cut themselves off is a huge saving grace, because I'm not saying that I would bet my life on Janelle, but she is just pretty straight and narrow with how she does things. And I think it's very likely that they were doing things right, and it would not in the least bit surprise me if they are, after Janelle leaves and is no longer doing the books, that they start doing things otherwise. Now, I could be wrong, and Janelle could have gotten mixed up in some stuff prior to where she left. She might end up being culpable for something, to use their favorite word. But I do think it's incredibly likely, the way that they're spending money already. I think, and not just me, but a lot of people believe that all of the TLC money used to go into the family account and were paid out accordingly, which I think means that Robin and Cody got whatever they wanted, and the rest got some scraps. And I think it's very likely that that it's almost a given that when Christine left, she said, TLC, pay me out separately. I think that's when the Sad Crab or the Crab Rat or the Dab Sack or whatever the new LLC that everyone's talking about showed up, was right around the time that Christine left before the new season launched. And I think that Cody and Robin were paid separately. Janelle was paid separately. Meri was paid separately. Christine was paid separately. So they lost, what is that, 60% of their income? something like that instantly. I think they really were pulling from the family net as much as they wanted. And I think at the rate that he's going, buying jewelry, buying expensive paintings, buying stuff, all of that, I think they're going to be broke long before we see that. And if we are lucky, we will see that on the show.